from Hesam0000. Question 1. Just force your government to give Arab lands back and break down the walls and stop the new settlements. Then you all live together in peace like good boys. If you treat Palestinians like Nazis, sooner or later someone will treat you like Nazis. That's just rule of nature, unquote. There are no Palestinians, and there is no Palestine. That's a complete lie and a historical bluff. The Arabs themselves always said there is no such thing as Palestine until the 1960s. So this is something that was just invented for propaganda purposes to use as an excuse to destroy little Israel. The Arabs are Nazis. People who said in the UN in 1948 and 1967 and continue to say in Arabic every day that they're going to push the Jews into the sea and finish Hitler's job, which is what the Arabs say, that's Nazism. People who say they're going to exterminate all the non-Muslim infidels, that is Nazism. So the Arabs are Nazis. And not calling a Nazi is a big, big mistake. People didn't call Hitler a Nazi, didn't condemn Hitler for what he was before he started the Holocaust in World War II, and the world paid a terrible price. The problem is not enough people call the Arabs Nazis. We're the only ones that are pointing out this truth, but they are certainly Nazis. And now question 2. Actually, a Jewish Palestine or Israel is more of a myth because the last time Jews owned any major part of that land was over 1,500 years ago, which means never as far as current valid history. But a small number of Palestinian Jews are local residents with continuous residency for 20 generations, and they have every right to be there. Their number is about 400,000 to 500,000, unquote. There is no Palestine. It was always the land of Israel. God created the land of Israel and created the whole world, and God gave that land to the Jewish people. The Arab Muslim Nazis and the Muslim Nazis have 66 stinking countries that they live in. 66 countries. The Jews have one tiny little country, and look at this. Look at the Nazism of this person. Look at the enemy we have here. Notice that all of the enemies that we have here are demanding that Israel not exist. They're saying the Jews don't have a right to even one little country. They have 66 Muslim Nazi countries. That's fine. Even though those Muslim Nazi countries do nothing but evil and cause nothing but horror all over the world. But 66 Muslim Nazi countries is fine. One tiny little Jewish country is too much for them. They all of their comments are that they say the Jews don't have a right to one little country. Notice, there's no talk about territories. All of it is the destruction of Israel. That is what they are all demanding. I mean, Jews had better wake up and realize this. They better wake up and realize this. It's all or nothing. Either we keep all of Israel or we're going to have nothing. And we are going to take all of it because it belongs to us and because that's our destiny and because God gave that land to the Jewish people, not to the Muslim Nazis. And now, Walking Dead Man 666 writes, imagine someone coming to your house, occupying 80% of it and refusing to leave. Then when you say, get out of here, you have no right, they reply, well, the Bible gives me the right. You continue to protest, and the thief takes you to court where the judge, America, Britain, UN, says you can keep your 20% of the house, but it matters not how the thief came by the other 80%. We won't force him to go. Then, if you take the law into your own hands, you are constantly labeled a terrorist, unquote. Oh, what a ridiculous fantasy these Arab Muslim Nazis live in. What a ridiculous fantasy. The Arabs have 99.9% of the Middle East. What do you talk about 80%? The Jews have 80% of the Middle East? The Arab Muslim Nazis control 99.9% of the Middle East. The Arab Muslim Nazis have more than 600 times the land that little Israel has, that the Jews have. You have 22 large Arab Muslim Nazi countries surrounding one tiny little microscopic Jewish state. You have 600 times as much land as the Jews have. And you won't accept even that. You see, again, this is another person, this is yet another one, calling for the destruction of little Israel. Nothing less. Our enemies are not interested in peace or negotiations or compromise. First of all, we wouldn't compromise on our land no matter what. But our enemies are not interested in that. They want genocide. And that's what this person is calling for. And now we go to Killer's Kiss 09. Israel doesn't treat its non-Jewish immigrants equally. It removes them to preserve Israel's Jewish character, calls Arabs a cancer, gives them limited property rights and stinking neighborhoods to live in. It forbids marriage between Jew and Arab. Russia Today has a segment that shows if an Arab dates a Jew, they are intimidated. There is a problem with Israel, unquote. You're right. Israel does not treat the non-Jewish immigrants equally. You're absolutely right. The Sudanese Muslim Nazis, the black Sudanese Muslims who come into Israel illegally, and the other people who come into Israel claiming to be Jewish and lying about their status, they are not treated equally with the Jews. You're absolutely right. They're treated better than the Jews. The self-hating Jews that run Israel mistreat their own people because they're so busy sucking up to Arab Muslim Nazis like you. They mistreat their own people. They are the Arabs get free. You're absolutely right. They're not treated equally. The Arab Muslim Nazis get free electricity. You think Jews get free electricity? The Israeli taxpayer pays and gives electricity to Arabs. They don't pay their electric bills. They get free medicine. They get free health care. They get scholarships to universities. They get free water. They don't pay their water bills. They don't pay taxes. You know what would happen to a Jew if a Jew tried to not to pay his taxes? You know what would happen to a Jew in Israel if he tried to do that? You know what happened to a Jew? If a Jew doesn't pay his water bill, he doesn't have any water. If a Jew doesn't pay his electricity bill, he loses his electricity. Jews never get any of these things. Arabs get everything for free and then murder Jews and hate Jews and arrogantly run around calling for genocide against Jews. That is an insane situation. And if we take power, that's going to come to an end now and forever.
La 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 la